Hi, so I'm Jason Ross, and I'm representing CSIRO, the National Science Agency. So I'll give you a bit about my study background. So I'm originally a Kiwi, so Kia ora. I'll tell you about my degree and nothing about the rugby on Saturday night. And so I studied in Christchurch. This is a bit of a story about what my passion was about, which is around DNA and computers essentially. But every year at my uni, there was always a lecture clash between genetics and computer science 101. So I was frustrated I couldn't quite get there, but DNA won out. I liked DNA more than computing. So I did a BSc there, then did a master's degree in plant biotech. I still really only cared about DNA, but I had to choose one or the other, either plants, animals, and I didn't like doing the drawings for animals, so plants, hey. And so then went to RMIT in Melbourne, did a PhD over there. Again, this was in plants because I had a background in plants. And along that time, I saw my first ever Affymetrix microarray machine. It was big data was entering biology, and I saw that as my chance to combine some computing data analysis with a biology background. But I didn't have a formal background in that, so I spent the next several years trying to edge my way into that space. So from there I went to Sydney, took a postdoc with CSIRO. I realized, again, naively, doing my PhD, I had no idea about how the career path, and realized that with a plant biotech background, most of the plant biotech research was in small towns in regional New South Wales or regional Victoria. And I didn't want to be spending the end of my 20s in these towns, so decided to swap to human health. And so I'm now with the last 15 years I've been at CSIRO in human health and diagnostic development, a lot of epigenetics, genomics. And so this is we're just down the road in North Ryde. We have a long background in diagnostics to detect colorectal cancer. So myself and a team of 19 others, we spent about 10 years on this. So this is now available in the USA. It's a test to detect colorectal cancer, the recurrence of colorectal cancer, going through the FDA for primary detection. So we're fortunate to get the Eureka Prize for that a couple of years ago. My colleagues also in the same building in protein space have spun out a company, Rhythm Biosciences, and this is a test for primary detection of colorectal cancer. So these new projects that I'm now running, we have a project around traumatic brain injury and poor metabolic health, very different spaces, but essentially using the same underlying technology. And we now have a really exciting project with Genesis Care. So this is around 5 teams over 4 states, and developing theranostics to detect previously incurable cancer. So my reflections around my career and generalizing to perhaps beyond STEM, but your future roles may not be invented yet. To give you an example, this is a machine I bought a couple of years ago. We have it in the lab. This is an Illumina mini-seq. That will, for $1,500, that'll give me 25 million DNA reads in 24 hours. When I started my PhD, to get that amount of data would have cost north of $150 million and would have taken probably a year or two. So in 20 years, the role to process the data off that machine didn't exist until 8-9 years ago. So your role may not be invented yet, and so keep learning, stay curious. As I just illustrated, data is becoming cheap, but the analysis of the data is still expensive. So if you like data and you like the biology or any of the sciences that have a lot of data, learn some stats, learn some machine learning. R, Python are really good. Communication skills. So multidisciplinary teams are really becoming really commonplace. At CSIRO, we're constantly communicating across various states, across disciplines, across business units. And you need to understand each other, speak a little bit of each other's language. And there's a trend happening with more remote working. So get good at communicating. A very quick advert for CSIRO. We have undergraduate vacation scholarship programs, 100 of these per year. Postgraduate program, 50 PhD top-up scholarships per year. and we also have a really good training program for postdoctoral fellows. Thank you.